Hey everyone, and welcome to the YouTube Brand Builders Virtual Summit. I'm Kopana from Kopana the Blog and the founder of TKBC Agency. The YouTube Brand Builders Summit is all about connecting with South African YouTubers, finding out more about their journey, their greatest lessons, and learning how we can achieve the same success. Today, we're hanging out with Cape Townian blogger, vlogger, honors graduate, adventurer, and experienced surfer, Nicole Eddy. She has just finished a epic adventure where her and her boyfriend went on a 3-month long 4x4 self drive expedition in their Land Rover Defender TDi named Pumba. They went all the way from Cape Town to Kenya and back. If you haven't checked that out, you better go check that out because it's definitely worth the watch. She has over 67,000 subscribers and over 2,288,000 views. Welcome to the YouTube Brand Builders Virtual Summit, Nicole Eddy.
Thank you. Woo!
Wow.
Cute crowd applause. I'm doing so good. Thank you. I'm so happy to be back in Cape Town.
How was the trip? I mean, 3 months is quite a while.
3 months was quite a while. The first 2 months were incredible. The driving up was all incredible, but the drive up was particularly incredible. And then we spent about 3 weeks in Kenya, and that was just grafting. We were creating a film, and that was up at sunrise, bed after midnight, and we were exhausted by the end of it, but it was an incredible experience. And then we started the trip back home, and we were meant to be kind of doing a long way around over another month. But the car was giving us some troubles, so we accelerated the trip back home in 2 weeks. And we were happy to be home, and it was perfect timing as well, because I think it was 3 or 4 days after I got home, I tested positive for malaria. So that was incredible timing, because getting that on the road is not fun.
I can imagine. So the timing actually ended up perfectly so that you could get the treatment that you needed.
Exactly. I was almost happy about it when I got it. I was like, this is perfect. I can just chill out for like the next 2 weeks. And
do nothing.
Exactly. I caught up on my editing.
Nice.
Yeah, it was incredible. The trip, not malaria.
You're I'm glad you're completely over it now. Hey,
thank you. Yeah, no, I'm feeling better than ever. Thank you.
Good. I've seen, I mean, your blog and your Instagram, especially your Instagram, is amazing. All the pictures are
thank you
amazing. I think they link up all nicely together, but we'll get into that later. You're probably you actually are one of the first South African YouTubers that I started watching.
And really?
Yes, definitely. I was like,
cool,
watching other people, and I was tired of watching Americans. So
mm-hmm.
I started looking for South Africans, and you were right at the top of the list. I literally typed in South African YouTubers.
Yeah,
that's how I started to find people.
That's awesome.
Is when I found you, then I found Ben, and then I found Louis, and then I found a whole new world. And my boyfriend thanks me for it so much, because everyone.
It's a good little crew.
Thank you so much for agreeing to do this. So how this is going to work, guys, is that we're going to jump into 5 questions about her YouTube journey. And then from there, we're going to get into her 5 tips that she has for you guys to learn from what she's experienced over the years. So let's get into the first one. So how did you start watching YouTube, and how did you get into the whole subscriber culture?
So YouTube for me social media was never really a thing at all until 2014. And I was in my final year of my undergraduate degree, and my boyfriend, Ben, he had just finished up his professional kayaking career, and he was always into filming and photography, and he was looking for the next thing as well. And to make a long story short, he met up with Louis, Fun for Louis, and kind of asked him what he was up to, and Louis explained the whole daily vlogging situation. I had no idea what a vlog was. I didn't even know they existed. And then suddenly Ben uploaded his first vlog. I think it doesn't exist anymore. It was 16 minutes long, and I still remember watching it outside on our patio, and I was like, what the hell is this?
Right? Like, you haven't done it the first time.
Exactly. And I'd never watched one in my life. I had hardly gone on YouTube, and I was like, I have no idea. Like, this is just a day in your life. I couldn't understand why people wanted to watch that type of thing. but yeah, obviously then he started daily vlogging and I kind of gained more of an understanding for it. But if you go back to his first vlogs, I appear to be really rude in them just because I never wanted the camera on me. I was like, I don't want everyone to see what I do in my life and in our life and stuff. And yeah, then I started kind of getting involved in that whole side very part-time while I was studying. And it all started with me, it started with writing and then photos, and I've got my whole family's in the film industry. So yeah, I thought, oh, maybe I've got a shot at this whole thing. And yeah, then I started subbing. I obviously met people in the industry through Ben and started subbing to them. And it was more of like a courtesy call just because I was now friends with them. I'd never watched the videos. So that's how it kind of all started. But yeah, it was never a thing until like 2014, 2015 for me.
Yeah, I know, especially with like vlogging, you're like, what is this? Why are people
Yeah.
filming their lives? And then you start watching it, you start getting entertained, and then you start seeing the value in it. It's actually quite amazing. I respect people who are able to put up more than one vlog a week. Like,
yeah, so do I.
it's like a lot of work.
Yeah, exactly.
So from being a subscriber, you said that you started getting into writing and then you started getting pictures. How did you make the transition from being a subscriber to being a YouTube content creator?
So through my blog and through taking photos and Instagram, and I was kind of learning at the time through my brother, through my dad, through Ben about film. And I was learning about the editing process and how to film. And I was always surrounded kind of in that industry, but I'd never thought that I'd wanted to potentially dive into it. And yeah, I just started kind of growing an audience mainly through my blog. And it was interesting. I was fascinated to know that people were interested in my stories and reading my stories. And it wasn't much. It was just stories of me traveling around South Africa or just random thoughts that would pop into my head and I'd kind of expand on it. And yeah, obviously through Ben was daily vlogging at that stage, and I was in his videos because we were obviously dating. And I'd always had a YouTube channel. I just never used it. It was like a blank profile, and my subs slowly started gaining. And I think before I uploaded my first video, I was already on 8,000 subs, which is an incredibly lucky position to be in. You know, yeah, people would kill for that. And I almost felt guilty. I was like, wow, I've been given this platform. I have a basic understanding of film and editing and stuff. I should probably just utilize the platform and what I've been given. So yeah, then my first vlog, I think it was an LA trip, and I was on an Instagram campaign with Ben and a few others. And I was like, cool, I'm just going to give this a shot. I'm going to try to do a daily travel vlog. And I uploaded my first one, and the response was incredible. And that kind of motivated me, and that kind of snowballed the whole thing. And yeah, now I do it full time. Yeah.
One thing that I've learned from quite a few people, because we've had a panel discussion with amazing YouTubers this past weekend, and I've been doing more of these masterclasses with guys, is a lot of them delete their first video. And like you said, even Ben uploaded his, and it's probably not around anymore. And
yeah,
is yours still around?
Mine is still around.
Good.
Yeah, and I don't know how, but I uploaded it. We're on our way to a camping trip, and we were about to lose signal. And just before we lost signal, I learned that it made the trending page for some reason. And I think it's one of my most viewed videos, and I think it's called like my first vlog or something like that. So I was super stoked. I was like, hell no, I'm not deleting that video.
So I want to go back and look at it. That's what a lot of people do. You just binge watch someone.
Yeah.
You feel like you know their whole life because you've binge watched everything.
I haven't watched it back since I've uploaded it. I don't think I can.
Why not?
I don't know. I'm just going to leave it up there.
A lot of people watch their first
Yeah.
So, as a vlogger, how do you draw the line between public and private? I mean, for other guys that do tutorials and all those things, it's quite easy. But because you're vlogging, sometimes your daily life or your adventures, how do you draw that line between what you keep private and what you keep public?
Yeah, I am quite a private person in general. I don't like to share too much of my life on the public platform, ironically. But I think it all comes down to respect, and it's not just respect for the people that you're with when you're filming, it's respect for yourself and giving yourself privacy. Because obviously it's your choice if you want to expose everything in your life, and that's awesome. But I prefer to have a big balance between my private life and what goes public. And it also keeps things real. It keeps the balance between work and your life, that it makes sure that, you know, there's a separation between the two, which I think is important in this industry because they tend to overlap very easily. But sorry, I just lost my thing. But one of the main lessons that I remember when I first started vlogging, I kind of wanted to film everything, and I'd film from breakfast to dinner and stupid stuff that no one really cared about. Yeah. And I always remember Ben saying to me, don't film everything, because what your audience doesn't see, they don't know that that happened during the day. And I started applying that rule to my filming. And even if I would film everything, I would omit it in the edit. So I kind of, yeah, I guess also if you're daily vlogging, it's a lot harder, but I kind of will, because I don't upload maybe like once a week, I'm trying to stick to that at the moment. Then I will pick one day to film the entire day. And then that's the day that I choose to expose my life to everyone, and it's a normal day in my life. And then the rest of the week I'm working behind the scenes and editing, and that's my private time. So yeah.
I think it's healthy to have that line between public and private.
Definitely.
So you're also a blogger, and you have an amazing Instagram feed. Do you think it's important for YouTubers to grow onto other platforms in order to support the work that they do on the YouTube channels?
I think it depends on what your channel is about. You know, people that have really made it big, like Casey Neistat and stuff, he solely relies on, I don't think he cares much about Instagram, and that doesn't fuel the rest of his business. You know, his thing is YouTube and outside of YouTube. But I think for smaller creators such as myself and people up and coming, and I think typically you can apply this in general, is that I think it is quite important to have to kind of grow yourself across all of these platforms. And I think the more that you give, the more that you get in this industry. And people just kind of want to soak up as much as they can, whether it's on Instagram stories, Instagram, Twitter, whatever it is. So, and it's so beneficial to brands for campaigns, because when I work with brands, I like to do like a multifaceted campaign. So it won't just be on Instagram. I like to do Instagram stories, YouTube, and that, yeah, I think brands find it beneficial as well. So it's beneficial for work and just for growing yourself.
Yeah, I agree. I think especially in the South African market as well, you can it's a give and take thing when you work with brands. So if you have something to offer and you can give them more value, then they'll definitely appreciate it and work with you more.
Exactly. And it's fun as well. It's fun to take pictures and post it. And I love doing Instagram stories. So yeah.
I love that. So what does the future hold for your YouTube channel? And do you think that you'll be on YouTube forever?
I don't know. I've kind of been toying with that question a lot recently, and just trying to find where I want to go with this all. But you know, I'd like to think that I'd continue uploading YouTube videos for as long as the platform's around. I know it's been going through a bit of rough patches for creators at the moment. But yeah, I think it's kind of where everything started snowballing, and it's kind of what got me off my feet. So I would like to think that I would always continue giving back. And I love vlogging. I find it so fun to vlog a day, sit down, edit it, and then share it and see everyone's responses. And people love that as well. So I think it's also important to give back to, I have a loyal audience that are waiting for videos. And yeah, I think it's important to respect that. But yeah, I think it's considering it as a stepping stone in my career. I don't think I don't think my career will be a YouTuber. Well, I hope not forever. And already it's opened up so many doors, from presenting to doing things outside of the YouTube world. But it's always fun to come back onto YouTube and just update everyone with what's happening.
It is pretty cool. I like how when you vlog and you come back to it and you go through what you want to put in and what you don't want to put in, sharing that with people. It is nice to be the editor of your own story, or the creator.
Exactly.
Of your own story. It's quite interesting.
And at the moment, I'm just kind of taking each day as it comes. I mean, yeah, I'm enjoying doing that lately. I always used to be the person that needed routine and structure, and needed to have like at least a 2-week plan. But now every day is different, and I'm actually starting to love that aspect of it all.
I like what you said on your welcome page on your blog about finding your next chapter. And I love how YouTube is part of you discovering new parts of what you can do as you develop in life. I love that.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so now we're getting into the part that I know a lot of people are looking forward to.
Okay. Pressure's on.
let's get into the lessons that you want to share with everyone. So we'll go through them one at a time. If I have a pitch in, but you can just go through them one at a time. And yeah, let's go.
Okay. So the number one thing that I always tell people when they ask me about growing YouTube channels or their brand or whatever is quality and consistency. And I can definitely take a lesson out of my own book here because I'm terrible at my consistency. But I know that when I have done it in the past, like committing publicly to a weekly upload, that it works so well. And you can see your subscriber count kind of grow. And after this Africa trip, when I was like sporadically uploading, no one knew like where we were, what we were doing, things just kind of plummeted a little bit. So yeah, I think consistency is crucial on this platform, especially as it's so saturated. So many people are uploading things on a daily basis, that I think they know if you're going to be uploading every Tuesday at 5 p.m., they're going to be waiting there for you and they're going to know that you will be there. And then obviously quality is a big one for me. If you don't have anything that you're not proud to put out, I think don't put it out at all. And if you are a slow editor and you're battling to kind of, if it takes you 3 days to film something, then stick to a weekly upload or once every 2 weeks instead of trying to like, do it all at once. Yeah. And then
a lot of what I've seen from a lot of YouTubers is they always say, consistency. We know it's important, but it's hard to do.
It's so hard to do, yeah.
It is. And one thing that they always say is try stick to something that is realistic for you.
Exactly.
But it's definitely one thing that a lot of YouTubers struggle with, but even though they see the value, is consistent.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that would be my number one tip always. But moving on to number two, would be setting deadlines. So whether that's what I've just kind of touched on now, so setting deadlines for your uploads, it's also so important to kind of make time for the creative process in your life. And I'm not talking about sitting down to edit. That's part of your work. You should be doing that anyway. I'm talking about setting, whether it's twice a week, 2 p.m., you're going to sit down and you're just going to jot down ideas on a notepad about potential upcoming videos or storyboard a video that you want to be doing. I think it's important to kind of get in the creative zone and to just almost picture the next thing that you want to do, instead of sporadically trying to do it on the spot. Yeah. And also to just, sorry.
No, it's fine.
I was just going to say during that time to just put down all of your social media and turn off your laptop and just kind of be alone with thoughts and just kind of let the whole creative process in your mind take a hold over everything.
That is actually the first time that I've heard somebody say that, to actually create specific time for, like you say, your creative time, and for time where you switch off everything else and you focus on your deadlines and coming up with tasks that you need to do. I think that's probably that is revolutionary for me.
Thank you.
Nice one. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, cool. So number three
is, which I could also take a lesson from, is planning videos better. So what I used to do was, say on a Tuesday, I would know that I'd be filming something and it would be a vlog. I would go out and film the vlog, and I'd get home and I'd come home with all of this footage, sit down at my laptop and just kind of stare at all the footage without having a plan or like a rough idea of how I wanted the video to look. And now I find it super helpful, and I actually learned this from my brother because he's more in the proper industry side of the cinematographer, but he creates storyboards obviously before he films anything. And I've kind of started adapting that process to my videos to make, one, the filming easier, and two, the editing easier. And also filming to edit. So you have your edit in mind by the time that before you've started your vlog, and you sit down and you already have those clips and you have the edit in your mind and you just kind of wash it out.
That's actually quite cool because what I've done before is I used to put a mind map of what I wanted to create before actually going out and doing it, which is almost like a storyboard because it's like bubbles anyway. How do you set out your storyboard? Is it more of something that you think about the narrative in the beginning and the end, or do you have specific points that you want to go through?
I always start with the shot list. I love making lists. So I will open up my notepad and I'll just do bullet points of things that I know I want to get. and then I'll put them in order. And then obviously when you're filming, you throw in some stuff in there just sporadically that's unplanned. But yeah, however you do it, whether it's a mind map or it's actually a proper storyboard, which I don't do the whole storyboard process, but I think however you want to plan it, it is important to plan it before. And my way is to kind of create lists. So shot lists, and then how I want the edit to look in another list, and then another list of what I want to film. And for me, that's the easiest way to kind of think about it.
Yeah, like you said, lists work really well for you. So if somebody else works well with storyboards, they can use storyboards. If somebody else works well with something else, they can use that. But the most important thing is to actually have some sort of plan.
Yeah, however you want it to look.
Okay, cool. Nice.
Yeah. Number 4 is edit while it's still fresh in your brain. So I've done this quite often where I have an idea of how I want my edit to look, and then I'll go out and film the video, and I get back home and I don't edit it for the next 2-3 days, and it comes to the 3rd or 4th day and I start editing, and I've lost all of those really nice ideas that I had, whether it was before or during the filming, which is this links back up with number 3. So this is why it's important to plan it. And yeah, it just gives you like a much better form of creative direction while you're busy filming and editing. But yeah, I always find if I come back, dump my footage, and then just start placing things on the timeline already in the way that I want the edit to look, it helps me edit so much quicker, and I'm already in the zone. And yeah, it just makes it easier.
Nice. A lot of YouTubers are probably guilty of that one, of leaving something for like 2-3 weeks and dumping everything in one place. I think it also lose the feeling or the feels. You lose them all if you leave it for too long.
Definitely. Yeah. And you lose, often when you're in the moment, that's when you get the nicest and most fun ideas that work the best. And if you forget about them, and the worst is when you sit down to edit and you're like, oh, I know I had that good idea, but you just can't think of it. So either maybe jot it down when you get it, but yeah.
Nice. Okay, cool. And what is your 5th and final tip?
This one might sound a bit cliche, but I think that it's really important. And that is to be yourself, especially in a vlog style format. As you say, it's different when you're doing tutorials or things like that. But if you are wanting to do the more vlog style things where you choose to share aspects of your life, I think it's so important to draw inspiration and creativity from other people online, because obviously that's where we get most of our inspiration from, is by watching other YouTubers and see what everyone else is doing in the game. But it's so important to then make that your own and kind of to develop and create your own style. And yeah, I think your audience appreciates it so much when you're real and raw and honest with them. I know when I started, because YouTube or the online world is a very like sensitive place. You have to watch what you say, and you just have to kind of step on ice the whole time. And I used to do that a lot. I wouldn't swear. I'd leave like all my really bad sarcastic jokes out in the edit. And now I'm like, screw it, like this is who I am. You guys either like it or you don't. And most people react really well to it. And I know I react really well when I see other people online. I'm like, damn, that was so real and raw. I can relate to everything. And yeah, I think people really appreciate that. And it definitely strengthens the connection between your audience and you, instead of putting up a facade because you think they will like that better.
Yeah, when you watch someone on YouTube and then you go back to their previous uploads and you see how their personality, it's like them coming out of their shell from like their first video all the way until where they are now, and you just fall in love with an authentic person.
Exactly. I even remember that first video in LA, standing on my balcony trying to make the introduction, and I probably did about 20 takes because I wasn't sure how I was going to word it. And now it's just like a one take wonder. Like if you like it, you like it. If you don't, then that's cool.
But it is what it is. I think the nice thing about that is with vlogging as well, it is like, hey guys, and then you continue with whatever you're saying after that.
Exactly.
I think the one thing that a lot of people struggle with especially, for example, the people who do tutorials and the people who do sit downs, is that they struggle with the intros and the outros because they feel like they have to put on some sort of personality. But it's so much easier when you're yourself, and it's so much more fun.
Exactly. And that's also something that develops over time. It's not easy to start your first video just being yourself, because it's daunting. You're putting yourself out there and you know people are going to judge you. and that is a little bit terrifying, but I think it does develop over a while. You learn to be yourself, as weird as that sounds, in your videos.
Yeah, that's definitely the number one tip across all the videos, is always just to be yourself, irrespective of whatever type of video you're doing. Just be yourself.
Exactly.
I really like those 5 tips. I really like how everyone comes with a different perspective and everything is different and important to every person. And I love how you've included so many tips specifically from the creative and the editing point of view, because I think people really do forget about that part. The fun part is recording, and then the editing still has to happen to bring that fun across onto the screen.
Exactly. And I think I learned that the hard way, which is maybe why those tips stand out for me. And I wish someone had told me that to make my first however many videos a lot easier. So yeah, I think the editing process is really, that's really where all the magic kind of gets pulled together.
Exactly. Thank you so much. I'm so excited about these tips. I'm so excited about people actually learning from this.
Thank you.
Just one question that I have, just for myself: how do you store all your videos? How's your memory? What's going on? What's the setup?
I have hard drives. Oh, they're not here right now. I have a whole bunch of hard drives.
You probably have like 20 hard drives by now, because it's just.
I actually only have 3, surprisingly. Really? It just means I need to start making more videos.
Do you what do you do with the footage that you've taken throughout the day after you've edited the video? After you've edited the video, what do you do with all the footage that's left, the raw footage that's left behind?
So I leave it all on my hard drive.
Okay.
Everything, even clips that I don't use. You never know if you want to refer back to something one day, and it's often nice to use clips that you didn't put in your vlog, like unseen clips. Yeah, nice. I think it's safer to keep it all.
I'm thinking about that one video that Casey Neistat did about all of his storage and all of that. Yeah. I was like, what?
He's on another level, though.
He's on another level.
He's a story.
He's got, yeah. No, that is like a storage. Yeah. Thank you so much, Nicole, for your tips for the interview. Everybody who's watching, guys, you can download the cheat sheet or the notes from this masterclass. It's down below. You can also download the audio version of this. Share this with as many friends as you possibly can. It's 100% free. And make sure that you check out Nicole Eddy's blog, as well as her YouTube channel and her Instagram. I promise you will not regret it. Nicole, thank you so much. This was so much fun. And I really appreciate everything that you've done for this. And you're an amazing YouTuber. And I'm looking forward to seeing more content from you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And it's nice to get some love from fellow South Africans as well.
Yay! All right, guys. Until the next masterclass. Cheers.